It was the 70s. You wore bell-bottom jeans and shirts with bright patterns. Your hair was in giant curls and you wore sunglasses even inside. After listening to the Beatles for hours, you switch on your vintage television set, no wider than 25 inches. And as you do, you hear of a group of aliens landing on Earth, specifically in London. You expect green creatures with massive black eyes making weird noises, but are stunned to see pale-looking humans with crazy red hair singing songs that, at the time, you didn't know would change your life. This was the reality for millions of teenagers around the world on the 6th of July 1972. A certain alien, named Ziggy Stardust, performed on Britain's Top of the Pops, broadcasted for the world to see the moment that the music industry would be changed forever. The dazzling look of the outrageous character made and embodied by David Bowie expressed to teenagers the power of being abnormal. Bowie takes it to another level by being so different, he physically, mentally, and emotionally becomes the alien. Yet, through the process, he realizes the power of being different to others and the power of being yourself can be dangerously confused. So, how did Ziggy Stardust land on Earth? David Bowie, inspired by late bands and artists such as the Velvet Underground and Iggy Pop, decided to escape the bell-bottoms and giant curls and create a character that was so unfashionable that he looked like he landed from Mars. He would create this character to stun audiences out of Beatlemania and into curiosity about who this character was and why he was on Earth. Put simply, Ziggy was meant to carry out an important warning to the Earth, but let the children boogie, as he states in his first song as the alien Starman. Ziggy was a catalyst for teenagers to learn to dance to their own beat because he couldn't really remember his own. Bowie performed 191 shows as Ziggy, his first concert on the 29th of January 1972, and his last concert on the 3rd of July 1973. Bowie dramatically ends not only the Ziggy Stardust tour, but Ziggy Stardust's career, saying, "Of all the shows on the tour, this particular show will remain with us the longest, because not only is it the last show of the tour, it's the last show we'll ever do." This statement shocked everyone. Some thought it was the last time Bowie would ever perform, and others thought the songs were just not as popular as they were before. However, the reason Bowie hastily cut off the tour was deeper than the audience knew. Bowie states, "Ziggy wouldn't leave me alone. That was when it all started to go sour. My whole personality was affected. It became very dangerous." Recounting on his experiences of being someone else, Bowie highly discourages it because of the direct impact it had on him. The crazy hair and eccentric outfits was all Ziggy could be. He wasn't actually real. It is very easy to get caught up in image, so much so that your image becomes more real than who you are. You might feel the need to become someone else, dress like them, talk like them, or in Bowie's case, even sing like them. Getting caught up in image can lead to negative consequences that can have long-term impacts on your life. These consequences, such as anxiety disorders, depression, or even eating disorders, can develop from habits that are formed while you are getting caught up in image. These habits include comparing yourself to others and defining your self-worth through appearance. And while these are completely normal things to do, comparing yourself to other people who aren't even real is where the problem actually begins. For Bowie, it was Ziggy. Ziggy wasn't real, obviously. But for you, it could be someone who you've seen on Instagram or Snapchat. They might be real, but their faces covered with filters or bodies heavily edited aren't real. Teenagers, constantly vulnerable on social media, may try to make something that isn't real, trying to alter their face to match another's or change their body to match another's. There's a reason why we call certain appearances unrealistic. We see these appearances online and find it impossible to match in real life. Bowie felt the same way about Ziggy. Ziggy seemed perfect. He was the unrealistic standard that Bowie tried to live up to. But Bowie, like anything else, couldn't live up to this standard without changing who he was. Sometimes changing or improving aspects of yourself may actually be beneficial. Bowie states, I was painfully shy, withdrawn. I didn't really have the nerve to sing my songs, so I decided to do them in disguise. Rather than be me, I'd take Ziggy in. It was a very strange thing to do. If it wasn't for Ziggy, the world would have never heard Bowie's life-changing songs. Bowie gained confidence and security in his unconventional music, but if he took being Ziggy too far, he would have experienced long-term consequences. He states, A fair amount of psychological baggage was undoubtedly coming out through the character. Bowie's legacy helps the world learn that Ziggy was an alien for a reason. The standards of his character could never be met, and shouldn't be met. And Bowie, once stopping to try to reach those standards, thrived even more as a person. Disbanding the Spiders from Mars and saying a permanent goodbye to Ziggy Stardust was evidence that letting go of being someone else can enhance who one truly is. After Ziggy returned to Mars, Bowie goes on to releasing timeless hits such as Rebel Rebel, Under Pressure with Queen's lead singer Freddie Mercury, and albums such as Diamond Dogs, David Live, Station to Station, and more. So, most of us weren't here in the 70s. Most of us weren't even born anywhere near the 70s. But the message Bowie conveys through Ziggy is so relevant to us today. Next time you catch yourself comparing yourself to another, think about how realistic the comparison is. We all remember David as David Bowie, not Ziggy Stardust.